Let's get into another conversation here on Rooftop Psychology, where we take your brain from the unconscious autopilot to the conscious overdrive. We're going to look today at well-being versus morals. Just to make sure we start off on the same page, we kind of walk through these series of questions. Let's kind of narrow down the definitions so we're clear here. Well-being, the state of being comfortable, healthy, or happy, kind of combines your physical, mental, and emotional state. It's basically how you feel, right? Versus the moral, basically is a standard of behavior beliefs concerning what is and what is not acceptable for them or oneself to do. So we kind of look at the idea of stealing, cheating, lying, murder, these sorts of things where we look at the right and wrong, the good versus evil. Do these things cross paths? And which is the better alternative to go to lead yourself down the best possible path for life? So you look at a situation where it may be beneficial for you to always look out for yourself in a sense that you're always being selfish for yourself, but does it leave you short in other aspects of life when you look at joining together in society where you need to work together for a particular outcome? So I'm going to give you a scenario here. I want you to envision one island, one person. Now, does this single individual person living on this island need morals? Is there a conflict that they're going to come across that the moral right and wrong balance has to be played? Or are they just consistently always looking out for one's well-being? Now we look at the things that right off the bat are the shelter, food, water, right? Need those couple of things to survive and live. You're always going to look for that well-being. You need, depending on wherever you are, make sure you're not cold. You kind of get sort of clothing. You're looking out for your well-being. There is nothing else to worry about to make sure that you try and live day to day, potentially getting your life and the quality of your life better each and every day by a better tool to hunt with particularly, or a better way to open up a coconut. But it is just solely based on you and your well-being. There's no need to be lying, cheating. There's nobody around to kill. Now I want you to envision a hypothetical experiment where we have two separate islands, and we're going to interject another individual, let's say 5 men, 5 women on each one of these islands. Every week we're going to put another person on the island. Now, when the first person gets introduced into the island, that individual comes across many aspects of thought process. Is this individual here to steal my food? Is this individual here to potentially kill me and take what I have? We then start to wager in the conflict between well-being and morals. Now, having another person, as the saying goes, many hands make light work, they could help you gather more food, build a better shelter, wage off any potential other harmful being coming their way. But how do you make the judgment call to start sacrificing what you are doing is in basic essence of selfishness to let down your guard to an individual that you don't know their intent? Now we have the moral compass start to lay in. So think about this hypothetical as we have one person, we interject the first person at the end of the week. They start to create a social construct, a fabric to live by, a set of rules, social laws that basically agrees that you don't hurt me, I don't hurt you. These sorts of rules will help each other succeed together. Well, then on the next week, we interject another person. The following week, another person. As the complex society starts to build, the personality, characteristics, and traits of every individual starts to shift and transform what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. How you run your little tribe of society of 10 differs on many factors of personality traits, everywhere in between. Even if you had the same particular 10 people on the island, but you put those 10 people on the island at different weeks increments and sets, you would actually come out with a different set of social laws. Now, if you look at the end of this experiment, we go 10 weeks down the road, you have one island living one way and another island living another way. Is it a right and wrong moral judgment based on how they've determined to live their life. So I'll give you a quick and easy example. You can have one island that basically pertains to theft, right? Don't steal the food that we've collected. And if you do, we're basically going to kind of give you a sense of community service. Maybe you go collect the water yourself for the next 3 days. The other island decides, no, we can't afford that kind of behavior and that moral injustice happening to the whole, so we're just going to cut off a hand. This is going to lead a very hard and fast do not do this. It's going to set a precedence for the future. Which one of these particular outcomes is correct? And if you looked around at the societies, the cultures, the countries, and the fabric built on the laws of the land that govern its citizens, we have different aspects of what is right and what is wrong, yet we're all built the same way. So what has led us astray from being what is best for one's well-being to sacrificing what is best for your being for other people, that has led us so far in different directions on different societal aspects of what is correct and what is morally correct for the rule of law. It's an interesting thought process when you think about how different a society can be, interjected the same way, with the same people, potentially in a different order, when you have agreeable characteristics or traits, you have that sort of headstrong, stubborn characteristic traits. This is a difficult question to sort of answer in what is the best way to live and where is your balance. Do we say things like white lies because we're trying to protect ourselves? Are we doing it because we're trying to place ourselves in some sort of a status of hierarchy? Are we also doing it potentially because you don't want to show all your cards? You don't want to show a particular weakness to other people, right? Someone asks you a question. Hey, have you ever heard of this? Yeah, of course I've heard of this. And you play it off like you actually know and you understand because you don't want to be what perceived as weak or less than someone else. Why do we do this? Why do we put our foot forward in such a way that we sacrifice our well-being and actually we deteriorate our own morals in the virtue of a greater whole? What is right? What is wrong? I don't know. These are a lot of questions that you can ask yourself. But the difference is we don't need morals when you live by yourself. How do the morals come about and governed properly in society? Do they come from a greater, higher being? Or would we have figured this out all on our own? The trial of human existence and the experiment continues. Hopefully this gives y'all something to kind of think about on the difference between well-being and morals. Hopefully we've kicked your brain in a slight bit of overdrive today. Enjoy the rest of y'all's day.